Hello, it's the Fat Boy here back with another My Team Career Mode episode for the third round of Season 3. We are back in Portimao after a season's absence for qualifying, and before we get to anywhere, be sure to like, subscribe and turn on notifications in order not to miss any future F1 or FIFA or any other video game uploads. So as you can see here, heading out of the final corner. This is my very first lap into Q1, I think, yeah, Q1. And the tires are almost in the overheating region as we now cross the line with DRS. It's a 1 minute 16.0, and that puts us up to P4 for the time being, just over 1 second behind Charles Leclerc. And by the time we finish our second lap, we are 4.5 tenths up. We should be almost 5 tenths up, I assume. But looking at the standings here, we went to 10th and then went back to 11th, so I'm not sure what's going on there. And we are also 1.5 tenths behind Guan Yu Zhou. Or I have to say Zhou Guan Yu, cause why not? So, um, at the end of Q1, we are 6 tenths behind Carlos Sainz. So we might have to dial down the AI difficulty, because obviously I'm playing in the high 90s. So at the same time I want to challenge myself as well, so that's why I keep putting myself at a high difficulty. So um, basically all we have to do is try our best. As now as you can see here, we're heading out of the pit lane for our first Q2 appearance in this track after the season's absence, getting out of the pit lane as soon as possible. As it's actually looking cloudy over here, and it's not just cloudy, it's actually raining quite a bit. It's drizzling quite a lot, so we're gonna have to we're gonna have to get we're gonna have to get past one full outlap here as soon as possible so that we can be in the driest conditions possible. But looking at the final sector, we are just below 4 seconds behind Charles Leclerc in the whole of the last two sectors. As now here into sector 3, we did get a lockup there. Heading into the final corner, we basically just sitting ducks here. We can't do anything besides just try to set a lap time of the fastest lap time we can currently set in these current conditions. And I don't know what I was thinking, because I was going flat out and suddenly I got wheel spin here and I just hit the rear wing and the front wing on the barriers there, so we have a lot of damage to deal with. And unfortunately that means we are not going to be setting any lap times, which means we are out of Q2. And Carlos Sainz standing strong in 6th place, and Lewis Hamilton, at least he's out of Q2 as well, so we have a shot against beating our rival. But now obviously we are in a difficult position, so all we have to do is just to score in the points, and we'll just see what we can do after the introduction. So we'll just see you on race day.
Welcome along then to Portimao, one of the busiest towns in the Algarve and a breathtaking destination that brings tourists from all around the world to the shores of southern Portugal. Today it's the backdrop for the latest round of the Formula One World Championship, and with a circuit this wide, we could be in for a lot of exciting wheel-to-wheel action today. 2.9 miles of track at Portimao, featuring 15 turns, 9 to the right and 6 to the left. There's a lot going on here, a lot of elevation changes that will affect the driver's braking and acceleration. Keep an eye out for the DRS zone on the final straight. That will be the setup for a lot of today's overtaking chances. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Gasly, Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Russell, Tsunoda, Stroll and Esteban Ocon, Leclerc, Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas and Giovinazzi, the Black Mamba, Aitken and Guan Yu Zhou. They've taken a grid penalty, and Robert Schwartzman, Latifi, Tigtum, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, To answer your request, obviously we're gonna try to score points as high as possible and as many times as possible in a row throughout the next few races. We are gonna underfill the car quite a bit because there's a chance of rain in the final few laps, and I did my calculation should be around lap 13 because 58% chance of rain in the weather reports, which means that there's a fair chance that it will be pouring just like in Q2. So how we are fair in this race here in Portimao. Now here come the 5 red lights for the Portuguese Grand Prix, sitting in P15. And it's lights out and away we go, trying to get traction off the line. Not so good with the launch there. We got quite a bit of wheel spin mid launches. Now we're going to try to go down the inside of Giovinazzi and Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas benefiting the most because he managed to get past the two of us, and that's a bad angle, but I think you can see that we are gonna go down the inside of Lance Stroll, now going around the outside there. We let him go through, but we're gonna go for the cutback move there. We do touch his left rear tire, but we still unable to make the move stick because we got quite a bit of a horrible exit, but we still managed to make it up for going down the inside of the Canadian there. So we're now up to P12. Within the first few corners, we've made up 3 places, so that's a good start. Carlos Sainz in 5th place, Lando Norris standing strong in 6th place. I think I would expect Alpine to be in the bottom half of the points, like P9. But Lando Norris obviously surpassing everyone's expectations and still up in P6. And Pierre Gasly is in the podium positions right now, and Daniel Ricciardo with his impressive form still in the top 5. So I think Gasly, Ricciardo, Sainz, Hamilton, Bottas are going to be our main rivals for this season of my team career. As you can see, Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap, 1 minute 1 minute 17.8, just on the opening lap. So as you can see how fast the Red Bull is off the line. And fast forward all the way to lap 2, a whole lap later, going towards the end of the second sector, Verstappen sets the fastest lap again, 1 minute 16.5. As you can see here, Valtteri Bottas using his ERS, going down the inside of me. Not in that way, obviously. As you can see, he manages to clear us just before the braking zone, and basically at the time I thought that we can't use the ERS because there's no point fighting him, so we'll just wait for the DRS. That's what I thought. So looking towards the end of lap 3, there's a huge DRS train, and I think that's an AlphaTauri in the distance there. I think it's Yuki Tsunoda because Pierre Gasly, obviously not his teammate anymore in this alternate season. So you can see here, there's a huge DRS train, and Tsunoda is the main sitting duck. And Ocon unfortunately ran out of road on the straight to catch up to Tsunoda and make a move down the inside, but it still stays there, and we are actually going to go for a move around the outside of Valtteri Bottas, and this time we have the inside line. We do have track position, we do give him the space there, side by side, both of us with DRS, but Valtteri Bottas is using his ERS. I'm not using the ERS at all, so we're going to go send it on the inside here, and Bottas almost went for the cutback, but I think he didn't have space because the corner is a bit too tight on exit. As now we're heading into this uphill corner where the car can catch, where you can get caught out with oversteer here, because obviously this is a roller coaster, this track. So we're still a bit slow now at this point. We're gonna have to get past Charles Leclerc and his Esteban Ocon and Yuki Tsunoda as well. So we're gonna have to make as little mistakes as possible. And speaking of Leclerc, he's having quite low form recently. His teammate like comfortably in the top 5s. But Leclerc is still struggling to get into the points and is struggling to get past an Alpine as well. Ferrari and McLaren are competing with me. Oh, that's a move from Lewis Hamilton down the inside of George Russell. Okay, as I was saying, Ferrari and McLaren are tied with us, fighting for 3rd in the Constructors' Championship, so I'm not sure what's happening. He's now going to go for a move around the outside of Leclerc. We are going to replicate what we did on Valtteri Bottas, and yes, we do replicate that move in the previous lap. So we managed to get past Leclerc, and Leclerc is a sitting duck because he's now prey to Valtteri Bottas as he now tries to go down the inside. But at the same time, he's defending from Bottas as well, so he has 2 drivers to watch out for in that corner. But he's still sitting in 12th place. Valtteri Bottas unable to make moves past the Ferrari and past me as well in this current stage of the game. And going into turn 1, we are still trying to get past Esteban Ocon. I'm not sure if you're gonna have the great launch of the exit of what do you call it, turn 5 here. And looking at where things currently stand, I think we're gonna have to go send it down the inside at the hairpin. And actually, we're gonna go for the send here. We're gonna have the inside line still side by side with the Frenchman, where we managed to clear him on the exit, and we managed to get past him quite comfortably there. So now fast forwarding to lap 6 here. We are gonna have a good launch of the exit, slipstream and ERS with DRS open on Yuki Tsunoda. I actually go for a cheeky dummy around the outside because I wanted to keep the racing line heading into turn 1, and we managed to clear him before we turned it into the apex, or maybe he just had to back out because there was no point battling me. So now we lead the DRS train, so no mistakes here because we can be sitting ducks as we do go wide there at the uphill corner exit. And I think we got our track limit warning. I think our first track limit warning, so we're gonna have to be careful on corner exits and all that. So now heading into lap 9 here, maybe just before lap 9, Ricciardo goes into the pits, Norris goes into the pits, Russell and Hamilton stay out, Sainz stays out as well. We go into the pits as well, Tsunoda and Leclerc follow suit, along with Ocon as well. And Ricciardo just finished his pit stop and he actually gets held up from his former teammate there. And there goes Lando Norris into his Alpine pit box, and actually he gets held up way longer. And there goes us, there goes Russell, I mean Tsunoda and Leclerc as well. And karma just hit Lando Norris at times where he didn't expect it, and we managed to get ahead of him as well. So that's gonna rub salt in the wounds. And obviously this is a huge blessing because we're gonna get more points in this race. So all we have to do is don't make mistakes and try to close up the gap to Daniel Ricciardo, who is currently just above 5 seconds ahead of us. And hopefully Lando Norris will stay behind and be a good driver to me, but I don't think he will do that in real life and in the game as well. So we're gonna have to defend as hard as possible. As you can actually see here, we get a bit loose on the exit, too much wheel spin. We had to do quite a huge correction there, and I think Lando Norris is gonna get a huge move, but I don't think he will get the move right now, as we do get caught out by oversteer. We lost around like 2-3 tenths at the exit, and Lando Norris manages to go past me. I tried to go defensive, but there was no use, and I tried to go for the move down the inside here, but he manages to close the gap just about. And obviously I also backed out there because I thought like the gap was a bit too far. And I think here is the second round of pit stops, I think, happening currently right now. But we do have a more important opponent to get past, and that is obviously Lando Norris. So Lando Norris here still standing strong ahead of us. We might be able to get past him guys. Now here's the second round of pit stops. There goes Latifi, Zhou Guanyu, Ocon and Russell just got out of pit lane. We're gonna have to get past him as soon as possible, as now we got past Norris down the inside heading into turn 1, and now Russell is just a sitting duck here. This is our chance to get past the British driver. And heading out of turn 4, this uphill left-hander here. We have DRS on him, but I think we're too far. We are way too far to make a move down the inside or around the outside. So we fast forward all the way to lap 10 here, heading into the final corner. Sainz in P8, P7, P6. No, yes, he's P6 now. I think he lost a place in his pit stop, or maybe he got passed by Lewis Hamilton. That's all I'm assuming, because Hamilton is obviously ahead of him currently. And it's now fast forwarding all the way towards lap 11 here. Verstappen sets the fastest lap, 1 minute 15.2. Russell got a bit loose on the exit there of the left-hander just before this double right-hander here into the final corner. We are using all our ERS, and we still have a lot of fuels to save, so I'm still banking on the rain to come in the dying laps of this race. As now we're gonna go side by side with George Russell. We're gonna go around the outside just like what we did on his teammate Yuki Tsunoda a few laps ago. And we managed to make the move down the inside, and all we have to do is just to keep the car within the two white lines on the inside and the outside, and just don't make any mistakes. That's all I'm trying to say. Now here's Russell. I'm not sure why he went for the send down the inside. It really caught me out there, and that's why I got a bit wide on the exit. So now fast forwarding towards the end of the lap, Verstappen wins another race here for Red Bull, and Carlos Sainz is gonna finish P6, and we're gonna have to lift and coast quite a lot. So the rain came a bit too late. I wouldn't say came too late. The rain didn't come at all, and the cloudy conditions came in just a little bit too late. And all we have to do is just power down all the way down the final corner, and we are going to finish just about in P7.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So as they climb out of the car, the Red Bull team are ready and waiting to celebrate a thoroughly well-deserved win. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Red Bull with another win in their hands. Obviously, they're still untouchable, but there is a new man on the podiums here, Pierre Gasly, the new man on the podium this season. And so far, Red Bull still dominating as always, just like Raven West in Grid Legends. Yeah, nice analogy there. And Mercedes not really getting a good points finish. Lewis Hamilton in P4, Valtteri Bottas in P10, so that's 13 points in total. We dropped to fifth in the Constructors' Championship, but we're still standing strong in third against Mercedes and trying to get past Ferrari as soon as possible. But unfortunately, that is the end of this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications in order not to miss the next My Team Career Mode episode. Hopefully this video was fruitful and entertaining for you beautiful audiences out there watching this all over the world, and make sure to not miss the next episode coming to you, and goodbye.